Hello everyone, welcome to the Jargus Ranger Review. This time we'll be looking at the 10th episode of Power Rangers Super Ninja Steel, and the 25th anniversary episode of the entire series, which aired on the 25th anniversary of the actual first episode. A very clever move, I might say. Dimensions in Danger. I'm going to start out by saying, it was okay. Just okay. I mean, the plot is, there are three masked figures from the previous episode, who didn't really do anything, reveal themselves to the Rangers. And they're, of course, West from Time Force, who we figured out from the last time. But also we have Gemma, who was the Silver Ranger from RPM. I almost said Operation Overdrive. And Coda, the Blue Ranger from the previous series, who is portrayed by the current Blue Ranger's brother. So that's kind of a nice twist right there. A little behind the scenes thing, but hey, it's pretty cool. And they explain the whole plot of the episode to us. Basically, a new villain called Lord Draven, who initially I thought sounded a hell of a lot like Lord Dragon. You know, the Max Rider villain they had show up in third season of Power Rangers, just before they got the ninja powers. Anyway, he's captured all different sorts of Rangers. And he's making clones of them, clone robots. And the way they're getting past all the Rangers' defenses is they've captured Tommy first. And the robots can disguise themselves as the other Rangers, even copy their powers to a degree. Which is a bit of a problem, because when any Ranger sees Tommy Oliver, they're going to assume it's a real deal. But it's not like he gets kidnapped at all throughout the history. Just several times by different villains. Even in the last series, he gets kidnapped by the 4th episode. And our three guest stars reveal that they were able to travel to this dimension because, yeah, there are different Ranger dimensions. Because they have a device that lets them travel through the different dimensions that have Rangers in them. But it's really taxing on the morphing grid, so they try not to use it often. Because RPM has their own dimension. We have the main one where most of the series take place. And we also have the one where Dino Charge happened. So I guess rewriting the timeline and that did not affect anything else. It was still would have been nice to see Return of Sledge, since he went through a wormhole. He may have had effects in different dimensions. After all, he did appear in this universe. I would so enjoy if he does make another appearance by the end of the season instead of a cameo like he had at the beginning here. Anyway, back on topic. Dragon has teamed up with Madame Odious for her magic can power up his arrows, which if he shoots when the sky is red, can create a tear in the barriers between dimensions, allowing all sorts of evil forces to invade him all at once. Of course, Dragon wants to take out the Rangers of all universes, whereas Odious only cares about this dimension, and she wants to rule it with her own evil power. So yeah, he has 3 shots at it. And he does it from operating in his own base, in his own dimension called the Antiverse. Which doesn't look as evil as it sounds. It looks more like a big Japanese temple in the middle of a forest. In the early morning. Not so evil looking. So yeah, the Ninja Steel Rangers plus our 3 other Rangers go over and they start spying on them, and of course they get caught by the robots and some Bashabots, so a fight ensues. Now an interesting thing happens is that one of the captured Rangers escapes and breaks the robot cloning machine, so no more copy Rangers to join the battle. So the Rangers split up in different ways to try to sneak into his base. And they do, with Brody being one of the first to arrive where their other Rangers are. And the rest soon catch up with them, after using some ninja vanish skills to evade, being caught by Dragon. So they free all the captured Rangers that we get to see, which is Rocky. He finally made a new appearance since he couldn't show up in Forever Red. We like that. A Cat, who hasn't been around since Turbo. A TJ, who was the Blue Space Ranger. A Trent, the White Dino Thunder Ranger. two Rangers appearing from the same series. Antonio, he was the Gold Ranger from Samurai. Gia, the yellow one from Megaforce. And so they all team up. And so when they all run out because Dragon's about to start firing off his arrows, they get stopped. Well, more importantly, the real Tommy, who was actually him that escaped with his invisibility powers that he gained back in Dino Thunder, that messed things up. He's lagging behind and he gets taken down by the clone robot Tommy that's been tricking everyone. So the two of them start fighting. The difference is Tommy now has what's called a Master Morpher, where apparently he can tap into the Ranger powers of any Ranger he's been so far. And so he shuffles through them, and it's a really nice battle, even though it goes by really quickly. And eventually he becomes the old Mighty Morphin Green Ranger, where he defeats the copy robot. And then that whole place is exploding, so he dashes out there. And that looked a bit of awkward CG right there, the way they had the Green Ranger running out. I mean, he used the White Ranger, so I was being Zero Ranger 5, and a piece of the scene cut from the broadcast version, he was also the Black Dino Thunder Ranger. And the CG on that robot falling apart was just awful and awkward. I mean, we've gone past the era of Beast Wars, you can show better robot animations now. So the full team of Rangers go to fight Dragon. Not Dragon, Draven. Come on, it's only one letter's difference and it almost sounds the same. I'm gonna mess that up, okay? Anyway, but he has an army of clone rangers from all over the place. Even though we only see those handful that were in that one room. So as a big battle starts to go into place. And it's okay, I mean, it's not disinteresting. Of course, it's still Tommy that takes the leading spot in and all. I mean, all the Rangers say a one-liner, all of our returning ones. But it doesn't really show off their abilities or how they fight. They're just more numbers in the battle at this point. And it's mainly Tommy who's fighting the main villain anyway. So he's stealing the show already. Anyway, Draven's able to fire 2 arrows into the sky. It's creating this big dimensional rift. And the Rangers can actually feel the wall around them. Fortunately, all the clone Rangers have been defeated, leaving him alone. But Odious is watching the battle and does not want to lose out on this chance, so she has him gigantified. And in that dimension, the Rangers cannot call their Zords. So when he's about to launch his final arrow up there, Tommy is somehow able to call on the Falcon Zord. And he flies up into the rift and grabs the arrow before it hits it. And to distract him, all the other Rangers are just using their blasters to attack this giant man. And it works, because it stuns him and basically makes him unable to react. I mean, if there was a bunch of Rangers attacking at once, it would deal some damage. Not enough to destroy him, but enough to distract him enough. So Tommy's Falcon Zord just grabs the arrow and has it fly straight down right into Dragon, and it destroys him. And that's how our battle ends. And Odious is pissed but moves on. And there's no mention of Vulcan Skull or Victor, Vincent, and Monty. And after that, all the other Rangers say how great they are, that the current team is gonna be great. All different words of encouragement, just quick little one-liners before they all jump into portals to their correct dimensions. And that's it. Nothing too special. So overall, give it like C+ rating, because it wasn't really bad, but it was so fast-paced, you really didn't take the time in to appreciate a lot of the moments. Whether you like Tommy or not, he is obviously the star of the show. I mean, they brought back some old faces and some newer favorites, and some in between. Though Wes is really starting to look and sound old. Just saying there. I mean, they never really delved into what the Rangers had been doing, even a quick throwaway line for any of them. Except for Tommy, because it shows he has a son. You don't see him, but you see his toy bike and him calling his name, and some kid that's saying daddy. I guess that future from A Season to Remember way back in Zeo may not have been all that much a fake after all at this point. But the action was still really well done. I think it's a little bit of a step down coming from how great the mid-season premiere was, but I can't complain either. In the end, everything is above average. Nothing is bad, but nothing is good either. I mean, this should have been fleshed out to either an hour-long special or something, or like 2 episodes. Everything just happened so quickly. He really didn't take time to take it all in. I mean, Forever Red brought back 10 Red Rangers at once, as well as references to Zeo, Machine Empire, Bulk and Skull, and even the In Space megaship. But it was all done with pacing as well enough where you were able to take in every moment as a great bit of fan service. This seems like they just checked off who they could get in here and gave him a quick appearance, and just threw in like a decent action scene. I mean, that's good if you just want to throw in a random crossover episode, but for 25th anniversary, it's rather disappointing. I mean, I know throughout the year they've been doing stuff through like the comics and different books, and like merchandise re-releases to celebrate the 25th anniversary. Unfortunately, as far as the actual series proper goes, this is all we got, and if that's all it's showing us, I gotta say it's disappointing. But yeah, this was a decent episode, and it has no impact on the rest of the series, unlike some crossover episodes, which is perfectly fine. But if you skip this episode, you really won't be sad you missed anything. But it's a fun ride, so I can't say I recommend it, but I can't say there's anything bad about it either. It's just a random crossover. It's basically a filler episode right in the middle of Ninja Steel. And that's it. I mean, I thought I was going to have a lot to say about this, but really, I have hardly anything to say. Now, one thing I noticed is that of the 3 Cloaked Rangers, they are the last series for each of the main eras of Power Rangers. I mean, you have Wes, who was the last one of a purely Saban made season. You have Gemma, who was the last Disney Ranger. And you have Coda, who was the previous of the Neo Saban era. So who knows where it's going to take us next. Anyway, I think I'm just talking in circles and repeating myself. Anyway, decent episode. Not really necessary to watch. Only if you're a diehard Power Rangers fan who just wants some quick fan service action in a short time frame. Yeah, that's it. Anyway, it's been Jargus. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you for the next review of Ninja Steel. Until then, let the power protect you.